there is something few people know, an invisible force that acts even when you are silent. It is now, at this very moment, shaping your reality, your finances, your emotions, and even the course of your soul. And the most impressive part, it doesn't depend on what you feel, but on what you say. The Bible already announced, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Napoleon Hill called this autosuggestion, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. This sacred code, hidden in your words, is constantly activating invisible realities. Are you using it to manifest prosperity and favor? Or are you sowing unknowingly scarcity and destruction? In the next few minutes, you'll understand why what comes out of your mouth is more powerful than any prayer without direction, and how to transform your voice into a sword, your thought into proclamation, and your spoken faith into a decree of transformation. This video is not just content. It is a revelation that can redefine your way of living, making money, and accessing spiritual wisdom. But beware, the most shocking part of this code is yet to come. Before we continue, like this video and share it with those who need to hear this truth. You'll understand why. There is a silent force, yet extremely active, that governs everything, including your financial life, your relationships, and even your deepest thoughts. It is an invisible code, working like the thread behind the tapestry of reality. This is not something esoteric or magical, but a spiritual and mental structure that responds precisely to what you declare with your talsarokia, with your mouth. Most people live their whole lives trapped by circumstances because they never learned how to unlock this code. But it's there, programming every seed you sow with your words. Imagine a fertile field, immense and waiting for instructions. That field is the spiritual universe. The instructions are sent through your voice, like decrees that activate or paralyze what's to come. Napoleon Hill understood this principle when he said everything starts in the mind. But he knew that the mind alone does not create. It is the mouth that manifests. What comes out of your mouth is like a commander's order to the invisible army shaping your reality. And here's the hardest part. This code does not distinguish between positive or negative words. It just obeys. What you say, even unknowingly, is shaping your destiny with the precision of an unrelenting sculptor. That's why what seems small, a casual phrase, a complaint, a criticism, can actually be the code-activating destruction or manifestation. The energy of divine creation responds to the vibration of your word, whether you are aware of it or not. And the most unsettling question, you are using this code right now. Are you using it for or against yourself? Most people look for an external key to open the doors to prosperity, healing, and success. But this key is not outside. It is inside, specifically in your mouth. What comes out of it can free or imprison, heal or make sick, generate life or activate emotional, financial, and spiritual death. Proverbs 18:21 leaves no room for doubt. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. This is more than a warning. It's a revelation about control and creation. It's like having a fire burning inside your mouth, ready to set realities ablaze or light the way. The tongue, so small, has the power to build fortunes or destroy families, to attract blessings or spread curses. Every time you say, "I can't," "I'm a failure," "nothing works for me," you are condemning yourself with hidden decrees. Disguised as complaints, your voice carries a frequency that changes atmospheres, alters your spiritual field, and influences even the opportunities that come your way. What few realize is that the tongue is a tool of spiritual warfare. It can be a shield or a sword. Those who understand this begin to choose their words with the same responsibility as one who sows seeds in fertile ground. Because the harvest comes sooner or later, and the fruit will be exactly what the seed you planted with your mouth was. The question isn't just what you're saying, but what you're professing unknowingly. James 3 reveals something unsettling. The tongue is like a small spark that can set a huge forest on fire. What seems harmless, a thoughtless comment, a negative phrase, a discouraging criticism, can trigger a fire that spreads across whole areas of your life. This fire starts small, almost unnoticed, but by the time you realize, it has already consumed your courage, relationships, finances, and purpose. People live for years harvesting financial and spiritual consequences of cursed words spoken in moments of weakness, and they don't even know the fire began there. James warns that the tongue contaminates the whole body, sets the course of life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. This is not an exaggeration. It's a precise spiritual description of what happens when we fail to control the power of speech. One misplaced phrase can misalign destiny and block the flow of favor. How many dreams have died, not for lack of ability, but because of the fire of words spoken behind the scenes? How many ideas were burned before birth by someone who said, "This won't work. Nobody can do this. You're not capable." This fire is real. But here is the hidden key in the mystery. The same fire that destroys can also purify, refine, and ignite purpose. It depends on how and why it's used. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, knew much more than he wrote. Behind each chapter, there are spiritual codes embedded in practical language, which only those who read with attentive eyes can perceive. He spoke about applied faith, autosuggestion, persistence, defined purpose. But what few understand is that Hill was teaching the power of the word as a tool for manifestation, without using mystical or religious terms. He delivered hidden keys, accessible only to those who were ready. Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But the tool to activate this belief was constant emotional speech, filled with purpose. This is spoken faith. It is declaration with intention. It is proclamation that reprograms the mind and moves the invisible. He called it autosuggestion, but it was much more. It was the application of the invisible code that moves the universe. Why didn't he talk about it clearly? It's because he knew that some truths can only be absorbed by those who are prepared. Think about this. Why have so many read Napoleon Hill and not become rich? Because reading is one thing. Activating, declaring, and living this code is quite another. Hill was not just a writer, he was a disguised mentor who delivered spiritual wisdom in personal development language. He knew that transformation is not just about what you think, but what you say while you think. And this is where we start. To get closer to the secret few really accessed. Words are not just sounds. Our creation in its raw state, coded seeds of reality. When you speak, you are triggering a cosmic switch, like turning the key to an invisible safe that releases possibilities or blocks. There is a spiritual and mental force that responds to language with absolute precision. It doesn't matter if you believe or not. What you say is issuing commands, shaping atmospheres, creating impact, either to activate blessings or stop the flow of prosperity. Napoleon Hill made it clear. Words are orders to the subconscious, and the subconscious, in turn, influences everything around you: behavior, decisions, opportunities, even your physical body. But Hill knew that the subconscious is only the intermediary. The real power is in the vibration with which you speak. It is the emotion behind the phrase, the faith with which you declare. You are not just speaking, you are proclaiming realities, invoking fruits, sowing the future. Therefore, phrases like, "I am prosperous," "Abundance chases me," "God gives me wisdom to be rich," are not empty mantras. They are decrees aligned with divine creation and reprogram your presence in the world. Likewise, saying, "I have no way out," "This is impossible," "My life won't change," is like activating the code of collapse. And this leads us to an essential question. What reality are you invoking with your voice without realizing it? Even when you're distracted, tired, or discouraged, the code never stops. It is always listening, always recording, always obeying. What you say, think, and feel with emotional intensity. Most people believe they are only creating reality consciously. But the truth is that the spiritual universe doesn't take breaks. Everything that comes out of your mouth, even a self-deprecating joke, is counted as a prophecy or a curse. It's like a program running in the background that obeys each word as a definitive command. Imagine a farmer who sows seeds day and night without realizing it. That's you. Every declaration is a seed, and the fertile ground is the spiritual universe. If you sow fear, you harvest blockage. If you sow faith, you harvest miracles. That's why phrases like "it's too hard," "my bills never add up," "this life isn't for me," are programs of failure that keep working even when you forget you said them. What you say engraves in heaven the identity of what you expect to harvest. The question that echoes like a mirror is, what have you programmed without realizing it? Because it's not just what you say in front of others, it's also what you whisper in silence, what you think as you walk through the house, what you say when no one is around. The code doesn't require a stage, it only requires a word, and it is already shaping your reality, even now as you watch this video. The words you say when no one is listening are the ones that shape your destiny the most. It is there, behind the soul's curtains, that the true spiritual command is issued. In the silence of your room, in the middle of a solitary thought, you say, "I am a failure. I will never get out of this situation. This miracle isn't for me." And these seemingly harmless phrases are like seeds sown straight into the foundation of your tomorrow. This is not theater. This is divine creation in action. There is an invisible power behind what you proclaim away from other people's eyes. Life responds not only to the words we say publicly, but mainly to those we pronounce in intimacy, with distorted faith and wounded emotion. It is in this secret place that the universe interprets intentions, that spiritual energy moves, and that reality begins to take shape, silently and precisely. You are the prophet of your own existence, even when you disbelieve yourself. That's why true financial, emotional, and spiritual liberation doesn't start with shouts of victory. It starts with an internal adjustment, a new vocabulary in the invisible, a conscious choice to declare life where before there was death. The spiritual authority of your mouth does not depend on volume, but on clarity and alignment with eternal truth. And maybe, without realizing it, you are right now repeating words that keep you trapped in a pattern that should already have been broken. Napoleon Hill introduced the world to the concept of autosuggestion as a pillar of achievement. For him, repeating phrases with emotion and intention programmed the subconscious to act toward purpose. But what many don't notice is that this goes far beyond psychology. It's a spiritual technology. When you speak with faith, you are not just influencing the mind. You are releasing spiritual commands into the invisible field, activating realities that do not yet exist but have already begun to form. Autosuggestion is a bridge between the natural and the supernatural. Hill wrote for an audience that perhaps wasn't ready to understand the spiritual aspect of this. But those who read with wisdom understand. Affirmations are decrees. Declarations are seeds, and repetition is the way to keep the field fertile until the harvest comes. Every time you repeat, "I am prosperous, favor follows me. I am guided by divine wisdom," you are sculpting a new identity and reprogramming destiny. The difference between those who thrive and those who merely survive may lie in the daily vocabulary. What you say about yourself, money, and the future is the raw material of your tomorrow. Autosuggestion is more than technique, it's an act of spoken faith. A way of declaring to the world and the spirit, I no longer accept living below my identity. And by doing this, you are touching something deeper than you ever imagined. Every word carries a specific frequency, like an invisible wave that spreads and touches everything around. It's not just the content of what is said that matters, but the vibration with which it is said, tone, intention, and feeling behind the phrase. All of these transform into creative energy, capable of building or destroying. The universe does not respond only to what is spoken, but to the emotional force that gives shape to the word. It's like a musical note that echoes and changes the spiritual atmosphere around you. Some live in constant emotional imbalance without realizing. They are surrounded by words that generate noise and energetic confusion. When you say, for example, "My life is a mess," the sound of this declaration doesn't just inform. It forms. It blends with your identity, changes the climate around, and weakens your presence. In contrast, words filled with faith, like, "I am guided," "Favor is upon me," "I am in a process of transformation," raise your frequency, attracting clarity, favor, and divine alignment. That's why words are like spiritual tuning instruments. They have the power to adjust your harmony with truth, abundance, and the presence of God. Every phrase can raise or lower your capacity to manifest. You are playing a melody with what you say every day. The question is this melody tuned to your purpose, or is it creating noise that takes you away from the reality you want to live? James 3-4 brings a profound metaphor. Just as the rudder steers a huge ship, the tongue directs your entire life. Small, almost imperceptible, but with absolute power over the course you take. That means no matter how big the storm, if the rudder points to the right north, the ship sails. Similarly, if your language is aligned with your purpose, even amid chaos, you will be led to the destiny you were designed to live. Many people drift, not because they lack strength, but because they speak words without direction, awareness, or spiritual clarity. They say, "I'll try, I'll see what happens, maybe someday." And these phrases are like rudders spinning without a course, leaving the destiny ship vulnerable to the winds. On the other hand, those who take authority over what they say begin to guide their own reality with firmness. Every word becomes a spiritual decision, a reaffirmation of the chosen route. If you want to change your destiny, change what you say daily. Start proclaiming the route you want to follow. I am heading toward my financial freedom. I am guided by divine wisdom. Prosperity is on my path. These words are not empty promises. They are spiritual directions, and the rudder is already in your hands. What's missing is the decision to use it consciously. The words you speak don't just stay in the air. They are true commands to your unconscious, which works as a faithful servant, obeying everything it receives. Even if your conscious mind doubts or resists, the unconscious makes no distinction and acts according to what was declared. It's like a computer program that executes orders, even if the user doesn't understand all the consequences. That's why many people repeat cycles of success or failure without knowing how to break free. Imagine the unconscious as an automatic clock that records every word and intention. When you say, "I can't," "This is too hard," the unconscious receives this order and creates internal barriers that reflect these beliefs. On the other hand, by affirming, "I am capable, I have wisdom to prosper," it adjusts the internal gears to align your actions and decisions with that command. The key is understanding that even unknowingly, you are always giving orders to this invisible servant. This connection between speech and unconscious is fertile ground for reprogramming destiny. If you want different results, the first step is to change what you say, not only to others, but to yourself. Words filled with faith, clarity, and purpose are decrees of transformation that activate a chain of favorable events. The unconscious, without questioning, sets in motion what you proclaim with conviction. And so, your destiny begins to align with your inner truth. There is a real spiritual war going on, and the enemy knows very well how to use the code of words to weaken and block your progress. He wants you to speak negative words, convince yourself of defeat, and believe in scarcity and failure. These words are like invisible weapons used to undermine your spoken faith, your spiritual authority, and your ability to manifest favor and prosperity. When you speak with discouragement, complaint, or fear, you open a breach for this negative force to enter and take control of your spiritual atmosphere. The enemy doesn't need to enter through the front door. It's enough for you to release words that create environments of doubt and fear. It's a subtle but powerful strategy. Negative words are his shield and sword, while your words aligned with faith are your shield and sword for victory. That's why it is essential to learn how to use the tongue as a tool of protection, a shield against invisible attacks. Declaring words of faith, power, and wisdom is like raising a fortress around your destiny. The enemy wants you to settle for what's easy, the negative, the destructive. But the secret lies in using your voice to proclaim victory, to sow blessing, to transform your life. Changing your speech is like turning the key that lights a powerful lamp inside your personal universe. By replacing negative words with affirmations of faith and prosperity, you begin to reprogram your mind and soul and create a new atmosphere around you. People who have understood this truth manage to transform seemingly impossible situations simply by changing how they communicated with themselves and the world. There is a real and tangible power in what you say every day. For example, someone who declares, "I am capable. Money comes easily. My life is renewing," starts to see opportunities where before there were obstacles. It is a frequency shift that activates divine creation, unlocks the flow of wealth, and brings renewal in consciousness. This is not magic. It is the practical manifestation of the spiritual code Napoleon Hill wisely revealed. The world doesn't wait for you to change, but it responds immediately to your new command. Transformation begins when your voice aligns with your purpose. So, what have you declared so far? Are you ready to replace words of doubt and fear with decrees of life, prosperity, and favor? Change is real, but the secret lies in your decision to speak the new truth. It is important to understand that this invisible code is not magic or superstition. It is a spiritual and mental law that governs the universe. Just as gravity acts on bodies, the power of the word acts on spiritual and physical reality. When you speak with faith, you are activating a natural force that responds to your authority and clarity of purpose. The transformation you seek does not depend on luck, but on conscious alignment between what you think, feel, and declare. Napoleon Hill taught that success comes from the practical application of eternal principles. One of these is the awareness that your words are commands that shape your destiny. This law does not discriminate, it just executes. Therefore, it is essential to be attentive to what you say, because the energy released by the word can be both a protective shield and a cutting sword that opens breaches for difficulties. When we understand this truth, we live with spiritual and mental responsibility, assuming the role of conscious creators. It is not a power to be used lightly, but an invitation for you to awaken to the invisible force that guides your life. The choice is yours. Continue being a spectator of circumstances or take control of your destiny with words aligned with your true identity. The secret to unlocking the code that moves the universe lies in the powerful combination of spoken faith, positive words, and divine alignment. Napoleon Hill taught that the conscious and emotional repetition of affirmations is the key to reprogramming the mind and manifesting prosperity. At the same time, Proverbs reminds us that the mouth is a battlefield where life and death manifest, according to what we proclaim. Together, these truths offer the formula to activate divine creation in your life. To use this code wisely, a deep commitment is required. Choose words that sow life, wisdom, wealth, and purpose. Every declaration must be made with consciousness and faith, because it is this vibrational energy that produces true transformation. By speaking with spiritual authority, you become the master of your destiny, aligning your mind, mouth, and soul to reap the fruits of prosperity and renewal. Remember, activating this code is not an isolated act, but a continuous process of decision and practice. It is a constant awakening to the power of your voice as an instrument of change, protection, and creation. If you start today declaring with clarity and faith, you will see the universe respond with miracles, favor, and unlocking. The time is now. Your transformation begins with the word you choose to proclaim. Living deeply, speaking consciously, and acting with faith are the keys to transforming your reality. The power to change your financial situation, your relationships, and your entire life lies within the words you choose to speak every day. When you align your voice with your highest purpose, you step into your true identity as a creator. If this video spoke to your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The world needs awakened people. Maybe, just maybe, you are one of them. Comment below with a word or phrase that represents your decision to embrace this transformation. Your story of victory starts with the words you declare. Remember, your voice is your sword and shield. Use it wisely. The universe is waiting for your command.